Are we there yet? I can't wait to see Granny, said my son in an excited voice. Not yet, buddy, not yet. We still have quite the long drive ahead of us. Oh, don't worry. We'll get there soon. Me, my wife, and 2 sons were going to visit my parents in Edmonton. It was quite a long drive, as we lived in the Fairbanks, so we had to stop and rest every now and then. We were all quite excited. I remember the last time I saw my mother was over 2 years ago. As I was driving, it started snowing more and more, until eventually, we were in the middle of a blizzard. I decided to stop the car so we could sleep for a while. I was driving for 7 hours after all. Thick fog started to set in as I started to steer the car to the side of the road when my nightmare began. As I was steering my car to the left, I saw a humanoid figure standing in the middle of the road. My son was the first to notice it. Dad, watch him. I passed out for what seemed like 3 hours. When I woke up, I saw blood all around me. The car split in half. I turned around to see a sight that would haunt me for the rest of my days. I saw the lifeless body of my eldest son, split perfectly in half. I broke down crying as the insides of my son spilled all over the car seats. What is this nightmare? What did I do to deserve this? I said to myself while breaking down in tears. Amidst all the chaos, I overlooked the fact that the other half with my wife and child was somewhere. As I was drowning in trepidation, I was fearing for the worst when I heard my son's cries coming from down the road. Mommy! Daddy! Help! A smile was drawn on my face. One of my boys was still alive. With all the cuts and pain from the crash, I carried myself out of the car and started limping towards the direction of the noise. I always carry a gun with me just in case I need to defend myself or my family. Surprisingly, the gun didn't go off or get damaged during the crash. I took it out of the holster and aimed in front of me. The blizzard got stronger as the fog got thicker. I could barely see a thing when I heard my son's cries again. I tried to walk faster, but the snow was just too strong. As my son's cries got quieter and quieter, I heard something sprinting towards me. Who could run in this weather? I said to myself. In a sense of fear and panic, I aimed the gun in front of me as I saw something rapidly approaching as it got more and more visible in the fog. I could finally see its full appearance, its hideous twisted face, the horns sticking out of its head, and its massive claws. As it unleashed a chilling screech, I had no time to react. I put my finger on the trigger as it leaped at me with its mouth wide open. It collapsed in front of me as I fired the third shot. What is that thing? I asked myself. As my brain was processing what had just happened, I heard another demonic screech. Ready to kill, I already had my gun aimed in the direction of the noise, but it was different this time. I could hear the sounds of flesh being torn apart as a woman screamed her lungs out. All of a sudden, I heard my son's voice. Mommy, leave her, you evil monster. Oh Lord, that was Stephanie. I walked as fast as I could towards the noise when I finally saw them. I saw one of those things devouring the now dead corpse of my wife as my son tried hitting him with a stick. In a panic, I aimed my pistol at the creature, steadied my hands, and pulled on the trigger. What the hell? I saw the gunshots bounce off its skin like it was rubber. It stood up and grabbed my son by the neck as it ran away while releasing another screech. I couldn't process what had just happened. I was perplexed. I was drowning in powerlessness. I felt a sense of misery. I put my gun up to my head, closed my eyes, and put my finger on the trigger. I was about to pull it when I heard Dad! I opened my eyes and I saw my son standing right in front of me. I hugged him as hard as I could when all of a sudden, I felt him being snatched out of my hands as one of the creatures leaped at us and took him. Realization hit me. If they didn't kill him 2 minutes ago, how do I know they'll kill him now? I picked my gun up from the ground and went in the direction the creature went in. I kept on walking for what seemed like hours. The blizzard eventually stopped, but thick fog still blinded me. I eventually got tired and went into the forest. I gathered some tree branches and shot them to start a fire. I sat near the fire to warm up. After being worried, stressed, and terrified for so long, I finally felt a sense of calm wash over me. I remembered that I had my phone in my pocket. I called 911 immediately. But instead of hearing the usual, 911, what's your emergency? I heard a language I could not understand over the phone, followed by my son's cries. Help! The calm I felt disappeared in an instant. I was hopeless, powerless, lost in my own thoughts. Why is this happening to me, to us? I felt more anxious than ever when I heard my stomach growling. I saw a rabbit running around near me. I grabbed it, took a sharp rock from the ground, and killed it. I guess this is my dinner. Now I said to myself as I was skinning the rabbit, I sit alone, anxious, lost, and hopeless. I wanted to write this not to keep people up at night, but to warn them of this. I don't want anyone to experience what I experienced. I will probably be dead by the time someone sees this, but if I am still breathing, I will be sure to keep everyone updated.